boom, boom, boom. Fight and flight. Can you flight? Are you fit enough to sprint if you have to? But are you strong enough to fight if you have to? Could you defend yourself? Are you confident to defend yourself? Overcome any confrontation, whether it's mental or physical. And the interesting thing about flighting and fighting is that's adrenaline, epinephrine, cortisol, the stress drugs, and they are pumped the fastest, the highest, at the best rate, the most effectively when we fight and flight. So it's easy to learn how to sprint. You just keep getting fitter and fitter and go as hard as you can. But what about fighting? Do you need to know how to fight? Now, I normally would have said no, but I've come across too many times in my life now where mentally and physically I've had to be tough enough to fight. And I'm very privileged to be married to a world champion martial artist who's taught me how to defend myself, to be confident to defend myself, and to be able to overcome any confrontation. Whether that's because I don't have to fight, and that's one of the beautiful things about martial arts. You learn how to fight so that you don't have to if you don't want to. And it's interesting because usually people will bully, people will pick on you, people will try and pull you down, people will be negative if you are weak. Weak people pick on weaker people. Strong people, tough people would never pick on somebody ever, but weak people would never pick on a strong person. So often in a situation I've found, since I've learnt how to fight, since I've learnt how to hold myself, since I've learnt to feel confident to defend myself, that it's very rare for anybody to pick me because they can see in my eyes that I'm confident. And I'll give you a couple of really interesting situations for that. I travel the world and I go to some countries and have to be in places sometimes that one would consider probably unsafe. And I've walked a couple of streets at night time by myself where it probably wouldn't have been recommended to do so. But I had to. And I've had people follow me and then stop following me. I've had people look at me as if to say, why is this woman out here at night time? And because of the way I can hold myself and because I'm confident with my ability to defend myself, it's been interesting to watch people turn away. And I'm not recommending that you walk down dark streets at night time, but if you ever have to, wouldn't it be nice to be able to defend yourself? I tell another great story, and it is a story now, but at the time it was really quite, it could have been quite scary, but it wasn't because I know how to defend myself. I was shopping in Melbourne. I had shopping bags. I had high heel shoes on. It was the middle of the day and there was a lot of people around. But obviously somebody looked at me, thought I was an old lady. I was wearing high heel shoes. She can't possibly chase me, so they tried to steal my bags, my handbag and my shopping bag. I had bought some perfume from the Tiffany jewellery store, which was probably a bag that was obvious had something in it that was of value. And this person tried to steal my bags. I went straight into automatic mode because K-Man's taught me how to fight. He's taught me how to defend myself. That man came off much worse than I did. I got a bit of a fright because somebody tried to rob me, but he walked away much worse for wear, and I ended up getting a standing ovation from the people of Melbourne in the middle of the day when the situation happened. I'm sharing that with you because I feel confident to defend myself. I had another very fun situation just recently. I was home by myself and somebody drove down our driveway. Now, we live out in the middle of nowhere, so somebody coming down your driveway is quite unusual. Particularly, it was right on dark and it was a single man in a car by himself. I didn't run and hide, and I have 4 dogs, I get that, and I could have let them out too, but my initial reaction, my initial response was tough and strong, and I was in the garden at the time, so I picked up my pick and I walked down the driveway, strongly, confidently holding the pick. It just happened to be somebody that thought they were coming to a party and they'd come to the wrong address. But I'm sharing that with you because I felt really confident. And I think it's really important if you're going to live your life to the max that you learn how to fight and you learn how to flight. So you're really fit to sprint. But if you have to defend yourself, do you know how to do that? And that's what martial arts is all about. So this is our Kotei, K-Man's outdoor training area. I built it from scratch. It was just a piece of brown dirt with weeds on it. And now it's a magnificent place to train. Obviously, it's outside, it's fresh air, it's sunshine, it's underneath snowy mountains. It's just magnificent. And if you come out here at sunrise or sunset, it's just the most spectacular, breathtaking experience. But to be able to train out here, not just to learn how to flight. See, sprinting is easy, you just go. But fighting, you actually have to learn how to do it. And wherever you are in the world and whoever you've got access to teach you how to fight, could it be a really good idea? And if you have children, could it be a really good idea? I would love our kids to never have to fight, to never have to defend themselves. But is it possible that life's going to hit them? Life is going to hit all of us at some stage, mentally or physically or both. And are we ready to defend ourselves confidently? And are we ready to overcome any confrontation? And I always ask both of those questions because I think they're really important. The other beautiful thing about martial arts, of course, and I'll use the Dragons Code, which is the code for K-Man's Martial Arts Club. Dragons stands for discipline, respect, attitude, gratitude, honesty, and never give up spirit. Dragons. If you can teach that to yourself and you live that for your children, and your children have an example to follow, and or your children grow up with that code, could the world become a better place? And I know that sounds like a big dream, but I would love the world to have discipline, respect, a great attitude, gratitude for everything that comes into our lives. I would love everybody to be honest, and I would love us all to have a never give up spirit. That's what K-Man teaches at Martial Arts Club. So please find a martial arts club that can teach that kind of spirit. Our world needs to learn, and I'll rephrase that. If you're under threat and you have to fight, so you produce epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, your body gets ready to stay alive. That's what that system's called, the stay alive system, the fight and flight system, the phosphate system. That system, after you've recovered from it, now produces clear thinking, creative thinking, overcoming challenge thinking, solution-finding thinking, because your body produces brain-derived neurotropic factor after you have fought or after you have sprinted. That's it, and that's what I love about the human body. It's a bit like when you lift heavy, you have to get stronger for next time, so your muscles automatically recover, rejuvenate, regenerate, overcompensate, supercompensate, so that you get stronger for next time. Well, the brain does the same thing. If you're put into a challenge, if your life is threatened, if somebody puts you into a situation where you have to defend yourself, your brain now has to be stronger for next time. So this brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is fertilizer for your brain, now produces neuroplasticity, change of brain thinking, so you can think smarter, wiser, more logically next time, overcome the challenge for next time. And it produces neurogenesis, which is new brain cells, so you can drop off the lousy, stinking, I'm scared brain cells and grow new, tough, strong ones. And that comes from fighting. If you fight and you get away, that's awesome. But can you imagine if your body's put under threat and you actually know how to defend yourself? Now you've got a different headspace. And that's what happened to my experience with the man trying to steal my bag. Because I've been through that experience and because I handled it and I handled it with confidence, I now have become more confident. I've had neurogenesis, neuroplasticity in my brain. And that's what fighting is all about. The other really interesting thing when it comes to anti-aging, there's a very strong connection when you talk to the neuroscientists between your body producing adrenaline, epinephrine, cortisol, and staying young. And one of the things, unfortunately, when people get older, they stop doing their sport. They stop doing martial arts, or they do some low format of martial arts. Hey, I've got a 50 plus, closer to 60 year young husband who still fights at the top level. He's just been to a karate competition and a national karate competition. There was nobody in the old age category, isn't that sad? So he competed in the open category against young boys, literally teenagers and young men. And he's, one would consider, and when you look at the faces of the people that watch him compete, they think he's an old man. But when you pump adrenaline and when you pump cortisol and when you pump epinephrine, adrenaline, epinephrine the same, adrenaline from the adrenal glands, epinephrine from your brain, which is that whole endocrine hormonal system working to help you stay alive, now you stay young and your brain works better. So the interesting thing about martial arts then is that you can still fight, but you would fight even smarter because you've got a brain that's been pumping epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol for your entire martial arts career. I get really excited about this because can you imagine what it's like to live with a man who is more mature, technically considered an old man, but he's young and fit and strong and wise and logical. And because he pumps epinephrine and adrenaline, he keeps getting smarter and stronger and fitter and younger rather than older. So I know that he can defend me. I know that he would die for me, but he doesn't have to because he's a strong, tough man who can handle every situation. And of course, he's teaching me to do that. And the Martial Arts Club is teaching now everything from small children to mature age people to stay fit and strong and young and tough and logical and wise and keep getting all of those. So it's not just about exercise. And that's one of the things as an exercise professional I find a little bit fascinating and sometimes a little bit sad. We talk about walking, we talk about 45-minute classes, we talk about exercising for hours or running for a long way. They're all activities. But to get fit and to get strong, you've got to get puffed and you've got to overload your muscles, your bones, your endocrine system, your central nervous system. Everything's got to be overloaded so that you stay young and fit and strong for long. And that doesn't come from going for a walk. It doesn't come from doing low impact activity. It doesn't come from doing long, slow distance. We always share that at this house. Long, slow distance, does that equal long, slow results? And could the answer be yes? If you want to get fit and stay fit, if you want to get strong and stay strong and be young for the rest of your life, you've got to get puffed and you've got to lift heavy. And I would love to add in there, you've got to learn how to fight. Because there will come times in life, is this possible, that you can't run. You actually have to turn and defend yourself. You have to be able to overcome a confrontation by fighting. Now, it might not be physically fighting. It might be that you have to stand up for your core values. It might be that you have to stand up for your beliefs. And I always ask those questions. What do you stand for? What are your core values? What do you believe in? And what would you die for? And as we know, there are millions of people worldwide through history that have died for what they believe in. Well, if you know how to defend yourself, if you know how to fight, are you less likely perhaps to die? And if you do die based on, I'm not going to lower my standards, I'm not going to negotiate my core values because this is who I am. And if you're that kind of strong, passionate, powerful person, could life be better? I would call that living life to the max, wouldn't you? So how about we focus on getting fit? That's about getting puffed. Lifting heavy, that's about getting strong. But mentally tough and strong, is it possible that we need to fight? We need to learn how to fight. And even if we never have a fight, and I don't ever wish to fight with anybody, of course not. But I love knowing that if I have to, I can. And if somebody drives down my driveway, I don't run away and hide. I'm ready to fight. If somebody tries to steal something from me, I'm ready to fight. And I would like that for our kids, because I believe there's a lot of and I'll just ask the question, do we have a lot of children now who are scared, they're frightened, they're anxious, they're becoming mentally weaker because they don't know how to defend themselves, they're not fit and they're not strong, and would it be a good idea for them to learn how to fight so that they never have to fight? And that's one of the beautiful things I love about martial arts. Teach me how to fight so I never have to. So that if somebody, first of all, somebody's less likely to bully me. If somebody does bully me, I know how to defend myself and I know how to overcome any challenge, any confrontation. Wouldn't that be awesome? So if you want to live your life to the max, get fit, get strong, get mentally tough and strong, and could that include some martial arts? Thank you for coming to Romax. My name's Rowie. I'm here every day because I want our world to be fit and strong for long. I want our kids to grow up in a world where being healthy, fit and strong is normal, where having a career or business that you love is just the accepted thing. You don't go and get some lousy, stinking, rotten job. I want our kids to know how to become financially free, financially secure. And I would really love all of our world to have respectful relationships. And could respectful relationships come from being a respectful person? So I'm going to finish with the Dragon's Code again. Discipline, respect, attitude, gratitude, honesty, and a never give up spirit. Do we need a bit more dragons in our life? Woohoo! I feel good. No. Because I can defend myself. Woohoo!